What's goody, bros? It's your boy, Reckless OP, coming to you with another build video. In this video, we're gonna get into my Mr. Beam's Techno build. Check it out as we destroy the boss in Eye of the Storm, guys. We totally melt them. I'm here with my boy Macho, shout out to him. We destroyed him in his stream. We did Eye of the Storm in 5 minutes and 40 seconds, guys, with this build. This build is beautiful. This build is incredible, guys. Watch as we beam them, we destroy them, and then I clutch it. Everybody dies and I clutch it with the last second because of the way I have the build set up, guys. Let's get into the build. This build is gonna be one of the best builds I've made, guys. This build is beautiful. Check out the DPS. Bro, this build is epic, guys. We got this clutched in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. If you guys are enjoying the content, I hope you give a like and a subscribe as we're trying to grow the channel, guys. We're gonna get into the build, and as you can see, we did it. Eye of the Storm is done, guys. In 5 minutes and 40 seconds, we destroyed the boss. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it, guys. We dancing the cha-cha. Let's get it. We dancing bachata on these monsters, homie, because we getting lit. We got the ultimate DPS build, guys. Let's get into the build video, guys. So let's get it. First off, we're going to start off the build giving an explanation of the weapons and why we're using the weapons we're using. First of all, we all know the Earthborn Renegade is meta. Yes, it's meta with the Techno. I'm going to give you a small explanation of why I'm not using it and the reasons why I'm not using it. It's all personal choice. If you guys want to use this weapon, you're more than welcome to use this weapon. Yes, you'll get more damage output. Yes, you'll be one bursting. But for example, all these YouTubers on PC make this gun look so extremely beautiful. They're getting 1.5, 1.6. But let me tell you something. On console, we do not have that same precision. We do not have that same aim. So this is the console version of the Technomancer DPS glass cannon build, guys. So let's get into what I'm running and why I'm using it. Well, number one, I'm using the Reaper. We're using the Reaper for the buff talent, the debuff talent, ultimate weakening bullets, shots and fleek weakness on enemies. As you know, this is a debuff. Let me explain why it is and why weakness is so underrated. Let's go to the guides here, right? We're going to go to enemies. We're going to go to status effects. As you can see here, this is what the build is going to be focusing on. It's going to be focusing on freeze. That's going to be our CC ability. We're going to focus on freeze, toxic. Every time you inflict toxic, there's a little talent on your skill tree that lets you inflict vulnerable. So these are the two buffs that we're using. And debuff, buff and debuff. We're using vulnerable, increases the damage received by 25% for 10 seconds, and weakness decreases the damage dealt by 30% for 6 seconds. This is the ultimate team ability. Vulnerable is giving your team 25% more damage. Weakness is decreasing the damage output of the monsters by 30% for 6 seconds. This is why we're using this weapon, the Reaper, guys, for that talent, ultimate weakening bullets, guys. This talent is incredible. It's good for CC, it's good for AoE, and it's another talent that we're using. It's called Ultimate Damage Link. Ultimate Damage Link is the ultimate AoE crowd control talent. Because, for example, as you're shooting as one person, they all push you in a crowd. It's like shooting at the whole squad at the same time. For example, if I'm shooting an elite brute mother, all the damage I'm doing to her, 40% of that damage will be dealt to the people around her. And also their anomaly damage. So, for example, this works for your skills, and it also works for your weapon damage, guys. Ultimate Damage Link is a very slept on talent. Everybody else is using Killing Spree and the Dark Sacrifice. But for example, Ultimate Damage Link is the ultimate talent. I call it the Mr. Steal Your Kill talent because everybody who I play with, I always steal their kills with ultimate damage link because I'm the only one running it. Everybody's using killing spree, and these are the damages. These are the talents you use in a group environment. Yes, you can use bone shrapnel and killing spree. This video is not about that. This video is about ways to keep your blooded rounds and be able to output DPS in console. We're not able to laser like PC with the mouse. We're not able to do that. This is why we're using the Reaper. Our secondary is absolute zero. I feel really 100% if this burst AR gets a nerf, this is what everybody's going to be using. They're going to be using absolute zero and they're going to be stacking freeze damage. So this is another CC gun, ultimate freezing bullets. As I said, this is the ultimate team player build. We're CCing, we're doing crowd control, we're doing AoE with the ultimate damage link. This is the perfect build to help out your squad. I'm going to show you guys 2 ways to run this build, which an example could be also 3. I'm going to show you the way I run the build in my opinion. I'm going to show you the way the skill, for example, I'm going to show you guys the way the other YouTube nerds are running it, and I'm also going to show you a different way of running it that I've been testing for team capabilities that I haven't seen people building in this way. So the way I'm building, first off, this is the damage absorber version of the build. This is the team player version of the build. We're going to get into the team player version of the build first, and we're going to give you an explanation of everything that we're using and why we're using it. Number 1, this is my damage absorber team version of the build. In team situations, you're not the one always getting the kill. For example, when you're fighting in Eye of the Storm, there's a lot of buffs that you're missing out because you're using the wrong talents. In Eye of the Storm, Sharp Eye and Bloodlust is good, but you're not getting those kills when you're about to fight Yayik. You're not getting no kills. Think about it. You're just DPSing him. So when I'm doing that, let's say if I'm running with a pyro, I'm going to be using Bullet Kindling. Deal 20% more damage against afflicted by burn. You necessarily don't have to be running with a pyro. If you have the gun Inferno Sea, which that's one of the weapons I've been waiting to get, which I don't have, you can use this loadout like this. You can stack the Bullet Kindling with the freezing boost, which this is my elemental team build. If you're always either going to be with a pyro or a bleed build. I also have a chest piece with the vampiric mag and the blood boost on it, but this is the version that I use if, let's say, I'm running with a pyro. So what I do is I use Captain Hunter, damage absorber. We need that increased damage to elites. This is the number 1 talent that you need on this build. This is tier 1. Let's say, for example, it's a tier 3 mod, but we're going to go by tiers what you really need. Captain Hunter, you need Euthanizer. Crit stack is optional. Depending on the way that you play, crit stack is optional. Crit stack is a beautiful talent to pair it with my solo version, Sharp Eye and Bloodlust. But when we're in team play, I like to use this. You know why? Because the pyro is burning them, so I'm getting that 20% and I'm getting 40% every time I freeze with my absolute zero. So for example, I'm getting 40%. Why? Because I run Shatter and then I run the freezing boost. So this is our team version of the build right here. We are not using Mitigation from Death because that's our solo version. If you notice, Mitigation from Death is really good if you're killing enemies while aiming down sights. So for example, this in a team environment, you're not the one getting all the kills. So the perfect thing to do is run damage absorber. Why? Because you're going to have this 52,000 armor all the time, and resistance by 10%, it's a very good increase. 10% resistance sounds like a little bit, but it makes you very tanky, guys, stacking that resistance. Physical damage reduction by 66% and resistance by 10%. So I'm going to show you guys the way to run it. Toxic Lead is tier 1. You absolutely need Toxic Lead on your build. This build makes it into a build that is called no reload. This build has no reload. You never need to reload when you're using the Reaper with this mod, Toxic Lead. The only thing that I advise of you is that you get your DPS with your crit stack. You get all that damage output. When you're using this, you kill 3 little mobs and then you focus the elites with You focus the elites with all your talents, and you get all that damage output. But the way I was running it in Eye of the Storm, what we did was we focus him after we debuff him. So we'll have the Pyro debuff him, and then we focus him. So these are the hands that I use with the Pyro. There's also another way to run this build, guys. You can run this build with, this is my other version of the build, right? It's the same exact build. All I'm adding is spare mag. We're taking out the crit stack and we're using spare mag. Let's say, for example, spare mag is very good for people that are using Earthborn on console and can't keep their rounds. You could use spare mag. All we're doing is switching out one talent. It's the same talents: Shatter, Euthanizer, Sharp Eye, Bloodlust, Dum Dum Bullets, Radical Therapy, Captain Hunter, Damage Absorber. As you can see, I only swap out one or two talents every section of the build. As you can see, this one is my spare mag version. This is if I can't keep my rounds with my LMG. Let's say I'm playing with a squad that's getting a lot of kills, or I'm playing with another Techno, I'll switch to this, to my spare mag version. Why? Because I'm able to keep my blighted rounds, I'm able to output more DPS, and is able to work for me. If I'm running with kids that are using that I'm not able to use negation from death, I'll run this version, guys. I'll run damage absorber and rejuvenation. This is, for example, if you feel a little bit too squishy, this is the perfect version for you to run. You just run an extra talent to make you more tanky. So rejuvenation, receive 14k firepower, 7,000 anomaly power, and 40k armor bonus for 8 seconds whenever your health is replenished. This talent is beautiful, guys. I really like this talent because you're constantly rejuvenating your armor every time you heal up. A Techno is always getting pushed. The enemy is always on top of you. You're always trying to heal. Rejuvenation stacks beautiful with damage absorber. Think about it. You're getting 150k armor without having to get a kill. You understand, guys? This is almost the same as mitigation from death. That this is the way everybody's running it. If you want to use mitigation from death, you could go back to crit stack, and it also synergizes perfect, as you can see. When I'm using negation from death, I take off damage absorber, and I run the Dum Dum Bullets, as you can see. Once again, we only switched out one talent, guys. Only one talent to what? We switched out damage absorber for mitigation of death, right? Right here, we're using all the killing talents. This is the solo build. You run mitigation from death, sharp eye, blood boost, crit stack, all that damage stacking with Shatter, Euthanizer, and your Radical Therapy. Guys, this is a whole bunch of damage. The attributes you need to stack on every piece is bonus firepower, long range damage. Close range damage is secondary. You can stack Skill Life Leech. Skill Life Leech is perfect for this build because you get your turret every 5 seconds on this build, guys. You got to remember that. You get your blighted turret every 7 seconds. So Skill Life Leech is perfect for this build if you're able to keep your distance and just use long range damage. It's really good, guys. So also, let's get into the skills, right? The class tree we're using is, we're also buffing and debuffing. So this is very important to the build. Exposing toxin. Every time toxic is afflicted on an enemy, vulnerable status is afflicted. I'll switch to my Sub-Zero, get off a couple shots, then I'll switch to the Reaper, right? Because I froze him with the Sub-Zero, switch to the Reaper, activate my bloody rounds, get all that damage from Shatter, get all that damage from Euthanizer, get all that damage from the 50% to Toxic, and also we're using this, Mark for Execution. Vulnerable afflicted on enemy is 40% more effective. Here, we're going all weapon damage and weapon life leech. As you can see, armor piercing, we're going over here, nitrogen capsules. This is very important. You need to keep that range, that long distance, 3 meters helps out a lot. We're increasing the weapon damage. We're using the toxic all weapon damage we're going here, guys. As you can see, we're using assault rifle, so we're going assault master. This is another talent that's very key to this build. Two sides of power, increases damage received from all sources by 15% and dealt by 20%. Guys, this talent is beautiful. It gives you a lot of DPS. It lets you take out crowds, and it's beautiful. Increase your long range weapon damage also. This is increase your magazine by 50%. We're going into all the damage, so where enemies afflicted with toxic receive 15% more damage. So toxic enemies, we're giving out a damage output of 65% on this build. Why? Because we're stacking Euthanizer with Radical Therapy plus the 25% we're getting from our class, which is Purge and the other Purge. So we're getting 65% damage output on our bleeding rounds. With this gun, you are not going to lose your bleeding rounds, guys. Trust me, on console, it is beautiful. On PC, people, yes, can keep their aim. Also, there's a little tip I want to say about this. This gun has been getting deleted. I had a 92K one, and it turned into a level 1 Rusty. I don't understand why they gave me a Rusty AR. It's happened to me twice. They deleted guns that I've totally upgraded, and they always deleted. So that's why I quit on the Earthborn. And also, I'm not a burst fire type of guy. I like to go full auto, aim down sights, and just destroy. And with this no reload build, you're debuffing the enemy, you're activating weakness, you're activating vulnerable, you're helping out the squad, you're DPS, and you're taking out a lot of targets with that ultimate damage link. This build is OP, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. If you can, leave a like and a subscribe. Would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to grow the channel, and I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the footage of us doing Eye of the Storm in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Guys, let's get it. Shout out to my boy Macho. He was streaming. I joined his stream. He helped me out. We did EOS on my alt character, and it was incredible, guys. I hope you guys enjoying the content. If you can, please, guys, leave a like and a subscribe. Will be really greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoy the content, and I hope you guys enjoy the build, guys.
What the? It's the leader of the Ferals.
What? But you killed him.
And I'll happily do it again.
Tear him apart, Outriders. For Yakov.
mehum total. Lohetardan pack.
We don't have time. You need to end this.
Ikmatu Iraq. Kraton Iraq. Ikmatu. My
What I'm seeing, I feel like it's about to happen.
The leader is dead. For now. Janet, do you see anything?
I don't think so. But, right? I think you stopped it. What the hell was that? How did they bring him back?
I don't know. But I could sense the soul of the Pax he
Outrider
once
detected.
was. Trying to
Access
break
granted.
through.
They were Pax before they were Pharaohs. Even in their primal state, they have a far greater understanding of the anomaly than we do.